guys, come here, welcome back to Langrisser M News from the future. So right, as you can see here on part 2 of this video, we will be featuring the skills, talents, faction and 3C of the characters from the new collaborations of Slayers, Lina Inverse, and these characters will be one of the characters that I like more is Zelgadiss or Zelgadiss, and also known as the Chimera Berserker of the series, as a very strong and powerful mage. And yep, let's get started. So alright, this will be kind of quick and short because we all know that well, Lina is the best of them all and is already tier 0, and on this part of the video we're only going through the exclusive talent, skills and 3C only on the demo play, where we go through all the skills they have for this game. Great, let's get started. So alright, this is the character design of Zelgadiss. It's kind of, well, simple and normal. And FYI, there is no Echo of Light skin for him. The Echo of Light skin is strictly for Lina and Gory. So right, his faction, it's on strategy, mythical and collab. And basically, though he's not a tier 0 like Lina, and he's not a very great offensive mage, and he can't really tank hits from enemy himself. However, he is a mage that provide a decent amount of support for his allies, and you'll find out why. So right, his talent is known as Chimera Berserker or Chimera Berserk Warrior. And sorry guys, watch to the end for the translations I did for you guys. And yep, talent of the effect of his talent as follow: the higher your HP is, the higher your damage deal and your defense are, the max cap will be at 25%. So this part is kind of taken from characters like Langrisser. The higher your HP, the higher your damage or intelligence deal, except this this time around for the Collab hero, they were given an additional he's given an additional defense stats increment. Then the next effect is that when you end your turn, you can choose and cast on an ally, estimate 3 to 4 blocks around you. It should be around 3 blocks. Okay, we will find out during demo play. And you can cast this spell buff on your allies. It's known as Collapse Magical Formations. And sorry guys, just to tell you, certain spell they had, I'm not able to find it that it's relevant to the original spell. However, there is some that I can find, especially like certain skills. I will just tell you guys that I do not have the actual meaning. So if you guys are able to find it, do let me know, that would be great. So right, back to his talent skill effect. So Collapse Magical Formation, the effect as follows: dispel up to 3 debuff on the target allies. For each debuff you dispel, recover 10% of the target HP, and this means the max you can heal will be up to 30% of the max HP. Then next, you will gain 2 turns immunity effect to the following: 1. Stun effect, 2. Unable to receive buff, and 3. Movement decrease effects. And followed by, after triggering this skill, it will enter a CD of 1 turn before you can cast again. So alright, this effect is pretty decent. It's not a great offensive skill, it's actually a support to help. From what I can say, it's actually more on, in PvP, is going to be playing for more ground formation to turtle formations is just to help recover your tank HP, and also at the same time to prevent your tank to get stunned, to prevent them from getting stunned, not able to receive buff and leg breaking effects. So with Zelgadiss, it's very cool to have this effect. However, do note that this effect is not tier 0 style effect, because it can still be prevented, it can still be dispelled if you use Sword Soul to attack against it. It's not those tier 0 type effect where your states these skills cannot be immune nor can be prevented based on what is written here. So right, let us repeat again. And so basically there's only 2 effects for Zelgadiss. So right, number 1, the higher your HP is, the higher your damage dealt and your defense are at a max of 25%. Number 2, when you end your turn, you can choose and cast on an ally the following effect, known as Collab's magical formation. The effect as follows: dispel up to 3 debuff for your target, then for each debuff you dispel, you'll recover 10% of the target HP. And then last, you will gain for 2 turns immunity effect that are stun immunity, unable to receive buff immunity, and movement decrease immunity effects. Upon triggering Collab's magical formations effect, these skills will enter a CD of 1 turn before you can cast again. And alright, so that's it for Zelgadiss, and we'll be moving to his exclusive skills. So apparently, even though he's not a main, he get to have 3 exclusive skills. The first one, which I do not have the actual correct name, is no so I just did a rough translation, is known as Demon Blade Flash. It has a 2C skills, has a CD of 2, the range target is 2 blocks, the AoE type is magic single target skills. So right, the effects are as follow: deal 1.5 times damage to target enemy, and disable passive skills of enemy before battle for 1 turn, and close combat soldiers will attack together and you will not receive penalty, close combat penalty, for the skills. I would say this skills is pretty decent and pretty good, or if not strong, because you are able to disable passive skills, and this means when fighting against older hero characters like Langrisser, you will prevent their resurrection skills from triggering, so that is very strong. However, this skills effect come a little too late, because we already have characters like Rosenseals and Elma, who have skills that will stop such effects. They will have crystal protections, or Elma will have that mirror to reflect the skills. So yup, it's considered as decent now instead of a very strong skills, given that nowadays a healer has such prevention methods. But of course, if you have a great band pick skills and your enemies is not that smart, then it'll be great. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1, deal 1.5 times damage to target enemy. Number 2, disable passive skills of enemy before battle for 1 turn. 3, close combat soldiers will attack together and will not receive penalty for it. Alright, moving to exclusive skill 2. Oops, this is a 1. And I do have the actual name from the anime. This is known as one of his stronger skills. In the show is known as Astaru Vine, or well, the English pronunciation is Astrovine, or you can just loosely translate as Demon Emperor Soul Slash, though the actual, again I repeat, the actual name to the anime is known as Astrovine. Sorry, apparently in the anime it's supposed to be an offensive skill, however they make it a self-supporting skills in the game, so it's kind of weird. Okay, it's a 1C skills. It has a CD of 4 turns. The range is self, and an AoE type is self-targeting support act again skills. So right, the effect are as follows. When you cast the skills, you will gain the following effects for 2 turns. Increase attack and intelligence by 20%, and units will not take close combat penalty. And after using these skills, you can move 2 blocks and attack again, and buff you have will not be reduced when using these skills. So it is a pretty decent effect and skills. It has both act again, and it also allows you to self buff your intelligence because it's a mage. So even if you do not have faction buff, you don't have to worry about it. And not to mention, he's a mage. If you happen to bring mage unit, you basically stop and prevent the close combat penalty effect when you're being forced into battle, close combat battle by the enemy. So yeah, that's pretty cool and decent. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1. When casting these skills, you will gain the following effects for 2 turns. Increase attack intelligence by 20%, and second, units will not take close combat penalty. Number 2, after using these skills, you can move 2 blocks and attack again. Buff you have will not be reduced when casting these skills. So right, that's it for exclusive skill 2, and we are coming to exclusive skill 3. But overall he's pretty decent because he has both single target and AoE skills, and not to mention he also have support skills. So though he's not tier 0, if most case if your Lina is being banned, he should be considered as tier 1 to tier 2 choices to be picked for your assisting your tank, and also to self buff himself. So yeah, not too shabby. Well, we all know that Lina is the best. Alright, exclusive skills 3 is also one of his strongest skill in the anime. It's known as, yep, this is a one. It's known as El Mekia Flame, or El Mekia Flame, or you can loosely translate it as Violent Flash Raw. So yeah, do note that in this Lina Inverse series, their spell is written in Japanese kanji. However, when they pronounce the skill name, it is pronounced in either pure English or a mix of English with a little bit of Japanese, trying to make the whole thing cool. That is like the trend in trend during the 80s to 90s era. Like another similar case will be the show Busted. Yep. Alright, exclusive skill 3 is a 2C skills, and it has a CD of 3 turns. The range is 2 blocks, and the AoE type again is a single magic single target effect. Hey, it has much more description. The following effects are as follow. Attack and deal 1.5 times damage to an enemy. Before battle, cast attack and intelligence 20% reduction debuff effect on enemies for 2 turns, and this effect cannot be dispelled. Then close combat soldiers will attack together and you'll not take the penalty for it. And if you do not have debuff for this effect, when you use these skills, you'll reduce the CD of the skills by 2 turns after casting it. So yeah, this is actually considered one of the I call it a meta skills that he have to bring, because it's like a upgraded or more powerful version or counterpart of air slash, because the damage is the same, deal 1.5 times, but before battle you reduce the enemy's attack intelligence beforehand, which in return means causing lesser damage intake. And not to mention, like air slash, close combat soldiers will attack together. And last but not least, if you do not have debuff for the skills, after casting it, you reduce this skill's CD by 2 after casting. So all you need to do is just wait 1 turn after casting these skills, you can spam it again. And basically there's no limit, as long as you don't have debuff when casting these skills. You keep enjoy this 2 turns reduction benefit, so not too shabby for it. So okay, let's repeat again. Number 1, attack and deal 1.5 times damage to an enemy. Number 2, before battle, cast attack intelligence 20% reduction debuff on the enemy for 2 turns, and this effect cannot be dispelled. Number 3, close combat soldiers will attack together and will not take penalty. Number 4, if you do not have debuff when you cast the skills, reduce the skill CD by 2 turns after casting it. Alright, finally, last but not least, we are going to this 3C, which is definitely his strongest skills that are being introduced thus far in the anime series, and that skills is known as Rotilto, or Rotilt, or you can loosely translate it as Crumble Spirit Ram. And the effect is the cooldown is follow. It has a CD of 4, is a range of 3 blocks. The AoE type again is single target magic attack. You have both passive and active skills. Let us go through the passive skills. So okay, when battling with enemies whose intelligence is lower than you, reduce damage received by 10%, and if you do not have debuff, this reduction effect will become 20% damage reduction instead. So it's pretty cool. This is a passive skill. This means you can combine it with its exclusive skill tree, the counterpart of air slash, and you can reduce enemies attack intelligence. This means lesser damage for you, and then to top it up with his 3C passive, you further will have additional 10 to 20% damage reduction. So this will provide higher survivability, especially when you're the one trying to do the attack against the enemy. So you have higher chance of surviving, and this means that as long as you survive, your healer will be able to heal you back or help support you. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1, when battling with enemy whose intelligence is lower than you, reduce the damage you receive by 10%. Number 2, when you do not have debuff, this reduction effect will become 20% instead. And alright, moving to his active skills. Deal 1.7 times damage to target enemy. Okay, that's one of the higher magic spell that has been released thus far. That's pretty strong. Okay, then this skill is effective against demon class. Again, they're trying to I guess they're trying to overthrow characters like Zelgadiss 2.0. Then close combat soldiers will attack together and you will not take the penalty. And if you do not have debuff on yourself before battle, you'll gain additional effect. These skills will be able to dispel 5 bar from enemy before battle, and before battle you'll recover 100% of your HP. And last but not least, if your intelligence is higher than your enemy by 3 times, these skills will deal damage to the enemy hero or leader directly instead. So okay, it's pretty cool. This is a very strong skills against physical heroes because their intelligence are very, very low. One example would be characters like Emmerich. Emmerich has very low intelligence, so if everything can attack his HP directly, this will be quite good. So alright, let's repeat again. So number 1, deal 1.7 times damage to a target enemy. Number 2, this skill is effective against demon class units. Number 3, close combat soldiers will attack together and you will not receive penalty for it. Number 4, if you do not have debuff before battle, you will gain the following effect: dispel 5 buff from enemy and recover 100% of your HP before battle. 5, if your intelligence is higher than enemy by 3 times, these skills will do damage to the enemy hero or leader directly instead. So yeah, that's it for Zelgadiss. So what did you guys think? If he's good, normal, or meh, leave it down in the comment sections below. And yep, we'll see you guys on the next part of the video featuring the protagonist of the series, aka Gory. This is Kami. Remember to like and subscribe, and goodbye.